Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering The Muse. He made his very first appearance in Daredevil Volume 5, issue number 11, that was released in September of 2016. His real name is unknown, but he seems to be a human mutate that stands approximately 6 feet tall and weighs about 180 pounds when his stats are compared to the physical stats of Daredevil Matt Murdock. While Muse also has blood red eye sockets that seem to have no real eyes, along with him having no hair and chalky white skin, not to mention eerily sharp teeth under his mask. Now, Muse is a chilling figure within the Marvel Universe, being a superhuman with a penchant for creating grotesque works of art using human bodies as his medium. This deranged artist's low-level superhuman abilities make him an unpredictable and dangerous adversary, particularly in the grim underworld of Hell's Kitchen, New York, where he first made his mark. Muse's powers, while not on the scale of more prominent superhumans, are uniquely tailored to his macabre craft, allowing him to evade capture and instill fear in both heroes and civilians alike. Muse's ability to render himself nearly imperceptible is one of his most unsettling traits. His body acts as a vortex, pulling in every bit of sensory information around him, making it nearly impossible for even those with enhanced senses like Daredevil to detect him. This ability gives him an almost spectral presence, allowing him to operate in the shadows and carry out his horrific acts without immediate interference. His low-level superhuman strength further augments his threat level, as he can easily tear apart human bodies, which he then uses to construct his gruesome artworks. Additionally, his agility occasionally allows him to move faster than the human eye can see, making him a formidable hand-to-hand combatant. So all of these abilities, combined with his twisted mind, make Muse a terrifying figure to go up against. Muse's grand introduction to the world came through his first major quote-unquote work of art, a blood mural created from over 100 missing people. This horrific creation was discovered after Muse anonymously sent the vigilante Blindspot the address of the warehouse where the mural was located. This mural was a shocking testament to Muse's depravity, and it quickly caught the attention of both the public and the authorities. However, Muse was not content with just one creation, and after a few weeks, he defaced his own mural, replacing most of it with the phrase, and I quote, "You're only as good as your last performance," and then directing the police to a new location. This time, they found the corpses of 6 Inhumans, posing as if performing mundane tasks in a vacant building. Muse's willingness to take out and manipulate even the Inhumans, a powerful and often persecuted group, highlighted the extent of his madness. ADA Matt Murdock, also known as Daredevil, was one of the first to witness Muse's second work. And although this time he was able to sense Muse's presence, Daredevil was unable to confront him immediately, as Muse used a dummy grenade to distract him and make his escape. This encounter marked the beginning of Daredevil's relentless pursuit of the deranged artist. Now, Muse's first public appearance came when he attacked a courtroom and kidnapped Judge Laird, who was involved in a case to shut down public access to the location of his blood mural. Muse took the judge to the sewers, where he had also abducted Councilwoman Andrea Pearson and 2 police officers, intending to use them as part of a new work. However, Blindspot, who had witnessed the judge's kidnapping, followed Muse and attempted to save the victims. Yet, although Blindspot, using his special suit, managed to untie and escort the victims to safety, his suit's camouflaging ability ran out of batteries, leaving him vulnerable to Muse's capture. The crazy artiste would then take Blindspot to his garret, where he was artistically inspired to gouge out the vigilante's eyes. Daredevil, who had tracked them down, arrived just in time to witness this horrific act. And in a fit of rage, Daredevil pursued Muse through the facility, where he discovered the missing people used in Muse's mural, still alive, but hanging from the ceiling, being drained of their blood. Muse would use this opportunity to cut the ropes that held them hanging upside down, to distract Daredevil, buying him time to escape. However, the villain's escape was short-lived, as he was apprehended on a rooftop by Inhuman authorities, who had been assisting Daredevil in the investigation of Muse's crimes against the Inhumans. But despite his capture, Muse remained defiant, breaking his own fingers to prevent himself from creating more works of quote-unquote art, and taunting Daredevil with the gesture, once again proving how insane he was. It was at this moment that Daredevil also unmasked this new villain, revealing his gaunt face, empty eye sockets, and sharp teeth. The villain would then be taken to the high security detention level of New Attilan. And interestingly, his fingers gradually healed during this imprisonment, suggesting that Muse may also possess a slight healing factor. Nevertheless, later on, following the election of Wilson Fisk as mayor of New York City and the implementation of strict anti-vigilante policies, Muse became inspired by Daredevil's continued fight for justice. He would escape from New Attilan, killing 12 guards in the process, and began vandalizing numerous landmarks in Manhattan with giant-sized, irremovable graffiti featuring various vigilantes in support of them. But when a group of police officers intercepted Muse just as he was finishing a mural of the Punisher, he slaughtered them and adorned the graffiti with their bodies. And of course, Mayor Fisk would seize the opportunity to blame the Punisher for the atrocity, using it to further his anti-vigilantism agenda. Subsequent to this, we'd see Blindspot, who had regained his ability to see due to advanced Inhuman science administered by the Hand, decided to confront Muse once and for all. He defaced one of Muse's murals to lure the artist out, leading to a brutal fight between the two. And although Muse once again initially overpowered Blindspot, the vigilante briefly gained the power of an extra-dimensional entity known as the Hand's Beast, allowing him to then overpower Muse. However, Blindspot ultimately refused to kill Muse, rejecting the entity's prompting. But in response to his defeat, Muse walked into a burning pile of debris, lamenting that it was supposed to be his story, not Blindspot's. The villainous artist would succumb to the fire, using his final words to lament that he had quote-unquote so much beauty left, leaving a haunting legacy of terror and tragedy in his wake. Now, for his powers and abilities and his influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Muse a rating of 5, which is an enigmatic rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the New Sage.